All right, welcome to your deep dive. This time we're tackling a book called The Gap in the Gain
Okay.
by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy.
Interesting.
Now get this.
Yep.
This book draws on the experience of over 20,000 successful entrepreneurs.
Wow, that's a lot of experience.
Not your average self-help advice.
No, not at all.
Now the idea that really grabbed me is how they flip the script on measuring progress.
Yeah.
They say looking backward is actually the key to happiness and success. You ready to get a little counterintuitive?
Absolutely. Right. It's always fascinating to see how, different people approach this whole question of happiness and success.
Right.
And especially from, this entrepreneurial world,
Yeah.
I think we can gain a lot of really interesting insights.
So let's jump into this core concept.
Okay.
The gap versus the gain.
Okay.
Have you ever, hit a milestone,
Oh, yeah.
but instead of celebrating,
Uh-huh.
you're already eyeing the next mountain to climb?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You're stuck in that gap.
Yeah.
Between where you are and that ideal,
Yeah.
Sullivan and Hardy say that's the problem.
Interesting.
That's not how you should be measuring progress.
They're saying that actually leads to a lot of frustration.
Right.
Like if you think about it visually,
Yeah.
there's a line with start, achieved, and ideal.
Yeah.
Most of us measure forward,
Uh,
so from achieved to ideal.
yeah.
But that just keeps us focused on what we lack,
Right.
what we haven't done yet.
So instead of feeling accomplished, you just feel inadequate.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're never enough.
Yeah, and that's where this gain idea comes in.
Okay.
So they want you to measure backward
Interesting.
from achieved to start.
Oh, okay.
To see how far you've come
Okay.
from zero.
Right.
Focus on all the wins along the way,
I see.
even the small ones.
Okay.
It feels a little counterintuitive, right?
Yeah. I mean, isn't focusing on the ideal
Yeah.
what drives us to achieve more?
Right.
But that's a good question.
Yeah. And what's really interesting is they say, yes, ideals are important.
Okay.
They provide direction,
Oh,
like a compass.
okay.
But they shouldn't be our measuring stick for happiness.
Okay.
More like the sun,
Okay.
illuminating the path, but not the destination itself.
I see.
Otherwise, we're just constantly chasing this moving target.
And never feeling satisfied.
Exactly.
So how do we reconcile this with that ambition that so many of us feel? That desire to achieve more.
Well, they actually challenge a pretty fundamental assumption.
Okay.
They say that we achieve goals to become happy,
Right.
but they have a different perspective.
Okay.
They propose that we set and achieve goals because we are happy,
Oh.
and we want to expand that happiness.
So happiness is the starting point,
Yes,
not the end goal.
that's kind of radical,
Yeah, pretty radical.
but it makes a lot of sense when you think about those times when you're feeling good,
Okay.
full of energy and confidence. Aren't you more likely to actually set ambitious goals then
That's true.
and take action?
When I'm feeling down,
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about goals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they actually have this great anecdote in the book about an entrepreneur.
Okay.
And this entrepreneur realized that achieving their goals actually expanded their happiness,
Wow.
not the other way around.
Interesting.
Like each accomplishment
Yeah.
became a stepping stone
Okay.
to even greater joy and fulfillment.
I like that.
So it's about building on the happiness you already have,
Right.
not chasing some elusive state of future happiness.
So I'm starting to see how this ties into measuring backward, right?
Uh-huh.
When you focus on your gains,
Yeah.
on how far you've come,
Yeah.
that reinforces that sense of happiness and accomplishment.
Yeah.
And that fuels you to keep going.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
a great connection.
Yeah.
And it actually leads to another interesting idea in the book.
Okay.
The difference between needing and wanting.
Okay.
It's more than just semantics.
Right.
It's about how we approach our goals and opportunities.
So on the surface, needing versus wanting,
Right.
they seem pretty similar,
Yeah.
but I'm guessing there's more to it.
Yeah. The book argues that needing something
Okay.
often implies a sense of scarcity,
Okay.
like you're lacking something essential.
Right. Like you need it to be happy.
Exactly. And that can make you feel dependent
Yeah.
on external factors,
Okay.
always hoping for something you don't have.
Like you're at the mercy of circumstances.
Exactly.
Okay.
But wanting something
Okay.
comes from a place of creativity and empowerment.
All right.
You acknowledge your ability to create what you desire,
Oh, I see.
to shape
Great.
your own destiny.
So instead of feeling like I need that promotion to be happy,
Right.
I want to take on new challenges and grow in my career.
Exactly. You recognize your own agency in the situation.
Yeah.
And this isn't just, some fluffy self-help concept.
Right.
The book actually argues that a wanting mindset can attract greater opportunities. It's like you open yourself up to possibilities
Okay.
instead of being limited by what you feel you lack.
Do they have any real-world examples
Yeah.
of how this works?
They do. They have this compelling story about an entrepreneur
Okay.
who transformed their business
Okay.
by shifting from this needing to wanting
Hmm.
approach.
Okay.
They were stuck in this cycle of needing clients and sales,
Yeah.
which made them, kind of desperate and reactive.
Right.
But when they shifted to wanting to create incredible value for their customers,
Okay.
everything changed.
Okay.
They started attracting ideal clients.
Wow.
Sales increased.
Okay.
But most importantly, they felt more fulfilled.
That makes sense.
It's like when you're coming from this place of abundance,
Yeah.
creativity,
Right.
you naturally attract more of the same.
It's like you're putting out a different energy with that
Exactly.
world.
And they emphasize that this shift
Yeah.
from needing to wanting
Yeah.
is a capability.
Okay.
It's something you develop. It might feel risky at first
Yeah.
because those old
It's
habits
justification.
and a blame
Right.
are so ingrained.
Yeah.
But the more you practice it,
Right.
the better you get at seeing those
Because
possibilities.
it's not about ignoring your needs.
Right.
It's about approaching them from a different perspective.
Exactly.
Recognizing that you have more control
Yes.
than you might realize.
And this actually leads to another practical takeaway.
Okay.
The power of recognizing those daily wins.
Oh, yeah.
Even these entrepreneurs,
Uh-huh.
these powerhouse people who are constantly pushing boundaries,
Yeah.
setting huge goals,
Yeah.
they understand the importance of acknowledging even the smallest victories.
I struggle with that.
It's easy to overlook.
I'm so focused on the big picture
Yeah.
that I miss those small moments of progress.
And they suggest that you be specific
Okay.
about what constitutes a win for you.
Okay.
It could be completing a challenging task,
Right.
getting positive feedback, even just making time for self-care.
Okay.
It's about identifying those moments that move you closer,
Right.
no matter how small,
Yeah.
and celebrating them.
So then you shift your focus
Uh-huh.
from feeling overwhelmed by everything you haven't done
Yeah.
to appreciating what you have accomplished,
Exactly.
even if it's just a small step forward.
It creates that positive feedback loop
Right.
that fuels your energy
Yeah.
and keeps you motivated.
What's standing out to you so far? What's resonating?
Honestly, this whole idea of measuring backward,
Yeah.
it's so simple,
Mm.
but so profound.
I know.
It's like flipping a switch
Yeah.
from scarcity to abundance.
Yes.
And I love the distinction between needing and wanting.
Yeah.
It's so empowering to realize that we can choose
Right?
to approach our goals from that place of creativity and possibility.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm starting to see the world
Yeah.
through a new lens.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what you discover. I'm ready for more.
Now let's get practical.
Okay.
One of the most intriguing concepts is this idea of creating success criteria.
Success criteria.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
It's about getting really specific
Okay.
about what success actually looks like.
So instead of just saying, I want to be more successful in my career,
Right.
you break it down into something tangible.
Exactly. Something measurable.
So like, I want to be leading a team of 5 people within the next year.
Yeah,
Or I want to increase my client base by 20%.
exactly.
Yeah.
They emphasize that vagueness generates vagueness. When you're not clear about what you're aiming for,
Right.
it's hard to know if you're making progress.
And then you're right back to that gap.
Yeah,
And we're trying to avoid that.
we are.
So by setting those clear success criteria,
Yes,
we can actually measure our progress backward.
exactly.
You see how far you've come.
Even if you haven't reached that ultimate goal yet.
It's about celebrating those incremental wins.
Yeah.
Building momentum. They also say we should eliminate justification and blame.
Ooh, those are two big ones.
They are?
I think we all struggle with those.
Oh, yeah.
It's so easy to make excuses or blame others
Yeah.
when things don't go our way.
But they actually argue that justification and blame drain your energy.
Okay.
They prevent you from taking ownership.
So instead of making excuses,
Yeah.
I should focus on what I can do
Exactly.
to move forward.
Take responsibility and take action.
I like that.
They emphasize that when you stop spending energy
Yeah.
justifying what you want
Yeah.
or blaming others,
Right.
you free yourself up
Yeah.
to focus on creativity and innovation.
So you become a creator, not a victim.
Exactly.
It's recognizing that you have the power
Yes.
to shape your own reality.
Even if you can't control everything that happens.
And it ties back to measuring backward.
Yeah.
Because you're not dwelling on the past.
Right.
You're looking at how far you've come
Exactly.
and what you can do to keep moving forward.
So we've got setting clear success criteria
Yeah.
and eliminating justification and blame.
Okay. What else?
Well, remember those daily wins?
Oh, yeah.
They take that concept a step further.
Okay.
They introduce the idea of proactive gratitude.
Proactive gratitude.
Yeah.
What makes it proactive?
It's not just about being grateful for good things.
Okay.
It's about actively seeking out
Rah.
and appreciating the positive.
So you make a conscious effort
Yes.
to find things to be grateful for.
Each day.
You're actively searching for those little sparks of joy.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the author suggests this creates a virtuous cycle
Okay.
where the more you practice gratitude,
Yeah.
the more you notice and appreciate the good things.
It's like training your brain to focus on the positive.
Exactly.
It can be so easy to get sucked into the negative.
It is.
Especially when you're stressed or overwhelmed.
And they emphasize that we actually create value and meaning
Okay.
through appreciation.
Interesting.
They're not inherent.
So even in a challenging situation, there's always something to be grateful for.
If you choose to look for it.
You just have to shift your perspective.
Exactly.
Choose to see the good.
They even go as far as to say that proactive gratitude creates growth.
Wow.
Because it allows you to enter into this special relationship with the world.
I like that.
One that continually grows in value, meaning, and happiness.
Okay, I'm adding proactive gratitude to my list of daily practices.
Awesome.
What else?
The last tip that really stood out is the idea of designing your ideal day.
Designing your ideal day.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's about being intentional with your time and energy.
Okay.
The author suggests you imagine your perfect day.
Oh, fun.
From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep.
So you're creating a blueprint for a day?
Yes.
That aligns with your values.
Your goals.
My vision for my life.
Exactly.
You're taking control of your schedule.
And your environment.
Instead of letting external factors dictate your day.
And I bet this ties back to that concept.
It does.
Of eliminating justification and blame.
Because you're taking ownership of your time.
Exactly.
Your choices.
You're not letting other people or circumstances
dictate how you spend your day.
It's about recognizing that you have the power to create the life you want.
One day at a time.
One day at a time.
All right, I'm sold.
Awesome.
Designing my ideal day is going to the top of my to-do list.
And remember, this is just a taste.
Yeah.
There's so much more to explore.
Right.
But these are some of the key takeaways that really resonated.
This has been incredible so far. We've covered so much ground.
We have.
I feel like I'm already seeing the world through a new lens.
I'm excited for you.
I'm ready for more.
All right. As we dig deeper into the gap and the gain, one thing that keeps coming up, this whole idea of discipline. We often misunderstand it.
When I think of discipline, it's like strict routines, denying myself any fun.
Right.
Being really hard on myself.
That's kind of the traditional view.
Yeah.
But Sullivan and Hardy have a different take.
Okay.
They say we're all 100% disciplined already.
Really?
Just maybe not to the things we wish we were.
So instead of beating myself up for lacking discipline, I should look at where my discipline is showing up.
Exactly.
Okay.
You're already incredibly disciplined.
Yeah.
When it comes to your existing habits.
Okay.
Whether they're serving you or not.
Right.
You know, if you find yourself scrolling through social media for hours.
Oh, yeah.
You're highly disciplined at being distracted.
Wow. That's a really interesting way to look at it.
So instead of I need more discipline,
yeah,
it's where is my discipline currently directed?
Okay.
How can I redirect it?
So discipline isn't some magical quality that some people have.
Right.
It's about awareness.
And choice.
Okay, so if I want to be more disciplined about working out, I need to recognize I'm already disciplined in other areas. Like maybe I'm really good at sticking to a budget.
Yeah.
Or keeping my house organized.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can tap into that existing discipline.
Okay.
To build that new habit.
That's actually pretty empowering.
And speaking of empowerment.
Yeah.
Another key insight.
Okay.
You're always growing.
Okay.
Even when you don't realize it.
I feel like some days I'm just treading water.
Yeah.
Not making any real progress.
Well, the gap in the gain wants us to measure ourselves in terms of growth.
Okay.
Recognizing that even when we make mistakes or face setbacks, We're still learning.
Right.
We're evolving.
So even if I don't achieve a specific goal, if I've learned something along the way, that's still progress.
It is.
It takes the pressure off of needing to be perfect all the time.
And it ties back to measuring backward.
It does.
You're not the same person you were a year ago.
Right.
A month ago, even a day ago.
Right.
You're constantly growing. And acknowledging that growth is crucial for staying motivated.
And feeling good about yourself.
This reminds me of something we talked about earlier.
Okay.
Comparing ourselves to others.
Oh, yeah.
When we get stuck in that trap, it's so easy to lose sight of our own progress. And the book says, comparison is the thief of joy.
It really is.
There will always be someone who seems to be doing better.
Achieving more.
Living a more glamorous life.
But we're all on our own journey.
You are on your own unique journey.
Yeah.
Your progress is yours to celebrate.
Focus on your own lane.
Exactly.
Run your own race.
Exactly.
Don't get distracted.
And when you cultivate that awareness of your own growth, you become more attuned to the things, the people around you that are growing.
You develop a radar for opportunities.
That align with your own journey.
I like that.
And remember, this is coming from Dan Sullivan.
Okay.
This guy's coached countless entrepreneurs. These are people who are constantly pushing boundaries.
Right.
Seeking new challenges.
Okay, so this isn't just fluffy philosophy.
It's practical.
Okay, I'm ready for the next game-changing strategy.
Remembering and revisiting your starting points.
Okay, what do you mean by starting points?
Taking the time to reflect on where you began.
Okay.
How far you've come.
Right.
All the challenges you've overcome.
It's like creating a mental highlight reel.
Yeah.
Of all those times I pushed past my comfort zone.
That's a great way to put it.
Did something I didn't think I could do.
The book says, remembering your starting points dramatically increases your confidence.
Okay.
Because it reminds you of your resilience.
Okay.
Your ability to make progress even when things get tough.
It's like looking back at old photos
Yes.
and realizing how much you've changed and grown.
It gives you a fresh perspective.
When you're facing a new challenge, feeling overwhelmed by a goal.
Take some time to revisit those previous starting points.
Remember how I felt back then?
Remember the doubts you had?
Right.
How you ultimately found a way.
It's like having a pep talk.
From your past self.
From my past self.
To remind you.
That I can do it.
You've been through tough times before.
You came out stronger.
Powerful antidote to fear and self-doubt.
Revisit starting points is going on my list.
And they highlight that this is especially crucial when you're setting new goals.
Okay.
That require you to level up.
Because it gives you that extra boost.
It does.
It reminds you that you've done hard things.
Yeah.
You can do it again.
It's tapping into your history to fuel your future ambitions.
You know, this is so much more than just a self-help book.
It is.
It's like a practical guide to happiness, confidence, and success.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's based on real experience.
Of people who've achieved incredible things.
Makes it even more compelling.
I couldn't agree more.
It's like we all have this capacity.
Yeah.
For growth and achievement.
And the key is to shift our focus.
From what we haven't done?
To what we have.
And it's about recognizing.
Yeah.
Success isn't a destination.
It's a journey.
Before we get too philosophical.
Okay.
You mentioned a few more practical tips.
Yes.
I'm ready. All right, lay it on me. What are those last few tips from The Gap and the Gain?
Well, we've talked about measuring backward, focusing on our gains.
Right.
But there's another piece to this puzzle that I think is really crucial for, real lasting success.
Yeah.
It's this idea that successful people don't control events. They control their response to events.
I see. So it's recognizing you can't always control what happens.
Right.
But you can control how you react.
Exactly.
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
But how does it connect back to the gap and the gain?
So instead of getting caught up in the gap, those things outside your control, you focus your energy on how you respond to challenges and setbacks.
So you see those things as opportunities.
Exactly.
Instead of letting them derail you.
It's about taking ownership.
Yeah.
Even when things are tough.
So even when things are going wrong, there's always something you can do to move forward.
It's about your mindset, your actions.
Taking control.
And they say when you focus on what you can control, you gain a sense of agency, empowerment.
Even in the face of adversity.
It's like that quote,
What is it?
Life is 10% what happens to me.
Yeah.
And 90% how I react to it.
Oh, yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in that 10%.
It is.
But the real power is mastering that 90%.
Right.
And they emphasize this ability to control your response is essential for lasting success.
Because if you're just reacting emotionally to every external event, you're at the mercy of circumstances.
Right.
But if you can be calm, centered.
You make better decisions.
Right.
Stay focused on your goals.
Even when everything feels chaotic.
Exactly.
Keep a poker face.
Keep a poker face.
I like it.
Don't let your emotions get the best of you.
And this ties back to measuring backward. Yeah. You're reminded that you've done hard things before.
Right.
You can do them again.
Those experiences become proof of your resilience.
So even when I'm feeling overwhelmed or discouraged, I can look back and remember those times that I found a way to persevere.
And those moments become reminders
that I can do it again.
That you have the strength and resourcefulness
to handle whatever challenges come my way.
It's like building a mental library.
I like that.
Of evidence.
You can draw on that evidence.
When you face new obstacles.
I've done it before.
Yes.
I can do it again.
And they highlight that this is especially important when you're setting big goals.
Right.
Things that require you to level up.
Because it gives you that boost.
It does.
It gives you the confidence that you can actually achieve it.
And now, there's one more piece.
Okay.
They acknowledge those times when you feel like you're losing. Even when you're objectively winning.
Losing when you're winning?
Yeah.
How's that even possible?
It's actually more common than you think.
Really?
Especially with high achievers.
Right.
You know, you could be crushing your goals.
Right.
Making progress.
Yeah.
But there are going to be days you feel discouraged.
Right.
Overwhelmed.
Not good enough.
It's that inner critic whispering those doubts.
Oh, I know that voice so well.
Telling you you're not doing enough.
Yeah.
You'll never be enough.
Some days it feels like my inner critic is in charge.
And they emphasize that these feelings are normal.
Okay.
You got to acknowledge them.
Right.
But don't let them take over.
So don't pretend those negative feelings don't exist.
Right.
But recognize them.
Yes.
And choose to focus on something else.
Be about shifting your attention away from that negative self-talk.
To something more positive.
More empowering.
Do they give us any tools to do that?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
And it's surprisingly simple.
Okay.
Don't compare today's value to that of any other day.
So each day has its own value.
Exactly.
Regardless of how productive I feel.
It's about giving yourself permission to have an off day.
Without beating yourself up.
Without letting it derail your whole journey.
It's about being present.
Yes.
Appreciating the journey.
Even when it's messy and unpredictable.
They say that when you let go of that need to compare, you're free to focus on what you can accomplish.
In the present moment.
And to appreciate those small wins.
Yeah.
And moments of joy.
Each day brings...
Whether you hit your goals or not.
Exactly. Life's not linear.
Right.
It's a series of ups and downs.
Yeah.
Each day has its own value.
This has been such a revelation.
It really has.
The gap and the gain.
Yeah.
It's really changed how I think about success and happiness.
I think it's more than just achieving goals.
It is.
It's about the journey.
The mindset.
And how you choose to measure your progress.
And it's all rooted in real experience.
It is.
From people who have actually achieved those things.
So they've given us this roadmap.
Yeah.
To a more fulfilling and successful life.
One that's grounded in gratitude.
Self-awareness.
And a commitment to growth.
Before we wrap up.
Yeah.
There's one final thought.
Okay.
There's no blame to be had for being stuck in the gap.
Okay.
Most of us have been conditioned to measure our progress.
Against some external standard.
Which leads to focusing on what we lack.
Like we've been programmed to see our shortcomings.
But once you're aware of it, you can choose a different path.
Choose to measure backward.
Focus on your gains.
Celebrate how far I've come.
Exactly.
So it's taking ownership.
Yes.
Instead of blaming external factors.
Or a past event.
And that is incredibly liberating.
It is.
Because then I can move forward with confidence.
And a sense of empowerment.
Break free from those limitations.
Embrace your full potential.
Embrace my full potential.
And speaking of potential.
Yeah.
Let's shift our focus to the future.
Okay.
Imagine yourself a year from now.
Okay.
Looking back.
Yeah. Yeah.
What gains will you be celebrating?
That's a great question.
It's a call to action.
Yeah.
To envision the future you want to create.
Shift our focus from the gap to the gain.
Exactly.
Even before we've achieved it.
Visualize that future success.
And let that vision guide our actions.
This has been an inspiring deep dive.
It really has.
I know I'll be thinking about this
Me too.
for a long time. And remember,
Yeah.
this is just the beginning of your journey.
With the gap and the gain.
And if you're ready for another deep dive,
yeah,
you know what to do.
Send us your sources.
We're here to help you uncover those hidden gems.
Until next time.
Keep measuring backward.
Keep celebrating your gains.
And keep reaching for those audacious goals.
And most importantly,
remember that the journey itself
yes,
is the greatest reward